What's good, my beloved bots? After today's video, I don't think I'll be calling you guys bots anymore. Today's video is going to be, how do you say this? A little controversial. Today, I'm showcasing, hands down, the most overpowered custom gaming peripheral I have ever made a video about. And unlike my other videos, where I spend weeks upon months creating these devices, the aim assist mouse used in today's video can be used by anyone using any mouse you already own for absolutely free. Today we are taking a deep dive into the software side of custom gaming peripherals. The mouse in the thumbnail of this video was a mouse we were working on for a little over a month. I successfully installed PS4 triggers into the left and right mouse click buttons, but after completing this project and spending hours upon hours trying to get it to work within Fortnite, it was ultimately a fail. But while I was researching and developing the aim assist mouse, I watched a ton of YouTube videos of people using a device called a Zim Apex. The Zim Apex allowed you to use a mouse and keyboard on a console, and it worked with every console game. The way this worked is when you plugged a mouse and keyboard into your console, the Zim Apex made it so that they would show up as a controller. And while the Zim Apex definitely caught the eyes of many Fortnite console players within the community, it never really took off. Reason being is that it was designed for the console, so this device created even more input lag than the console already had. It was very buggy, and it was $150 for basically a USB stick. Fortunately though, for PC players, the process that takes place while using a Zim Apex on a console can easily be replicated using something called Remapping software. Not only can it be replicated, it can be perfected. After trying about 10 or so different remapping programs, I found one called ReWASD. ReWASD has the ability to remap any key on your keyboard to any button on a controller. But what separates ReWASD from the pack is that you can remap a controller's left analog stick to WASD and the right analog stick to the mouse's movement. And while at stock settings, these features work almost flawlessly, ReWASD gives you the ability to refine these remapped movement keys by being able to adjust things like dead zones, sensitivity, and response time. After the remap is applied within ReWASD, your computer now sees your mouse and keyboard as a virtual controller and works perfectly as a controller within games like Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone, and a ton more. Side note though, you will need to plug in an additional mouse and keyboard into your computer, as you will no longer be able to navigate your PC using the remapped mouse and keyboard, as again, your PC is seeing them as a controller. So what is the point in all of this? Mouse and keyboard is undoubtedly the superior competitive gaming peripheral, but for someone like me who has used a controller for 20 plus years, when switching to KBM from a controller, getting used to things like aiming with a mouse is one of the hardest parts. Aim assist provides a massive crutch to controller players, as aiming with your thumbs is nowhere near as accurate to someone aiming with a mouse in their entire hand/arm. This is why I said at the beginning of the video, this is by far the most OP gaming peripheral I have ever discussed on this channel. You now have the insane accuracy provided while using a mouse with the added benefit of aim assist. This accelerated the learning curve of KBM for me drastically. Within just 1 week of playing on aim assist KBM, I was just as good, if not better, than I was using controller on Fortnite for 2 years. But aiming isn't the only thing that is challenging when switching to KBM from a controller. Getting used to building is another huge learning curve. When building on a controller within Fortnite, you must swap to a build mode, then hit L2 or R2 to place a ramp or a wall. This will place your build instantly. On KBM though, there is no build mode. All of your builds are binded directly to a key like F1 or Shift. By hitting one of these keys, your builds will pop out, and then you must left click on your mouse to place the build. Left clicking for every build I wanted to place instead of swapping to a build mode and having all my builds placed instantly took a while to get the hang of, but while using your Remap KBM, as your keyboard is now being registered as a controller, you can bind your builds to a specific key on your keyboard like you normally would on a PC, but swap back and forth between build and weapon mode, allowing you to place your builds instantly as you normally would on controller. This again drastically reduced the learning curve of KBM. One cool thing I did though that you probably won't be replicating is I added my joystick keyboard to the mix over a standard keyboard. Watch my video on the epic joystick keyboard build. While the WASD movement on the keyboard worked great when remapped to left stick, in my config I used an actual joystick for my movement like I would be using on a controller, which provided me with seriously such an OP setup. I am never going back to controller after using this config. It's like a controller on steroids. Again, this has made the overall transition to KBM seriously so easy, and when going back to my standard PS4 controller, I feel so much less agile. Let me know if you want me to post a progression video of my controller to KBM progress using the aim assist feature. So I'm going to end this video with talking about the elephant in the room. Is this cheating? This is where I think we are going to have many different opinions. If you're comparing this to something like aimbot or using macros, then I don't believe this is cheating. Aimbot allows you to automatically aim in and hit your target without even trying and requires zero skill. Same with macros. It allows you to emulate clicking 3 to 4 buttons all at once by hitting a single key. These features are obviously not in the game as they provide an unfair advantage, but when it comes to controller or keyboard remapping, it gets sticky. People use remappers all the time to change the configs on their controller or keyboard, as many games lack controller or KBM customization within their own settings. While adding aim assist to a mouse is definitely a massive advantage, it still takes skill to use. Who am I kidding? This is crazy unfair and OP. I'm sorry to all the tryhards in the community, as I literally have just spawned a ton of new Fortnite gods. Again, I didn't create this video to piss anyone off or try to promote cheating. My goal with almost all my custom gaming peripheral videos is making the switch from controller to KBM as easy as possible, and this aim assist mouse is by far the easiest way to get used to KBM. So hate me all you want in the comments below. I love it, brother. With that being said, later you bots. Wait a second. You guys aren't bots anymore. Later you goats. This is gonna be hard to get used to.
Oh, what? Controller player! That is a controller player!